Hi guys. Um, Hang on just a sec. I think I pressed the wrong thing. There you go. Alright. So, just one channel announcement before I get into what I want to talk about. I have one more, um, uh, video in my Jehovah's Witness series before I take a break. Now I am taking a break. I am going to cover Raymond Franz's Crisis of Conscience because I think it's important to get his take on the whole thing. But like I said, there will be one more Community 2, and then I'm going to be taking a break for a while. So that's the announcement that I wanted to make. Getting on to the topic. It is man created God in his own image. Now, I decided to take this from Genesis 1, where it says God created man in his image, male and female, he created them. Because it's important for people to realize, and like I said, I'm not anti-theist. I do think there could be a deistic God out there, but if there is, it doesn't really matter because he doesn't give a shit about us. And it doesn't really affect how we live our lives. So, so I just want to throw that out there. I do believe there could be some kind of a deistic God out there. The God of the Bible certainly does not and cannot exist. Now, getting back to man created God in his own image. Quite frankly, we did. Now, I want you to think about a few things. Number one, if you have ever been a believer in the Bible God, certainly, but maybe another God, maybe you are a Muslim or, a Jew or something like that. I'm not exactly sure Wiccan gods and goddesses or Hellenist gods and goddesses would necessarily fit this criteria, but I'm talking about the God of the Bible, the omniscient God. Okay, think about this. Has God, the quote-unquote omniscient God, the quote-unquote God of the Bible, has God ever put something into your mind that you did not already know? I can tell you the answer to that. The answer to that is no. And do you want to know why? Most of my viewers will already know why. Because the people who believe in God have created God. And you cannot tell yourself anything that you yourself do not know. Now, some people might say something along the lines of, well, yeah, but there's instinct. How do you account for instinct? Well, that's kind of different. Um, if you're talking about animal instinct, that's like totally different. But if you're talking about a cop's gut instinct or a mother's intuition or something along those lines, what you're actually talking about is a bunch of clues that you may not even know that you noticed somewhere along the line, and then those clues coming together to form a picture. And that then becomes what we would qualify as an aha moment. But it's not really an aha moment. It is just putting pieces of the puzzle together that we previously have not put together before. So that's not really an aha moment, even though now we see a bigger picture. We've already had the pieces. What we're doing is putting them together to form a bigger piece, a bigger picture. So, that doesn't count. That does not count. Now, you need to also think about God, and this time I'm talking about any God. Talking about the Mayan gods, the Hellenist gods, the Wiccan gods, the Jewish God, the Christian gods, I mean, any gods or goddesses that are out there. No god or goddess is any more moral than the collective of the people that they quote unquote rule over. Because, again, all God is a creation of man. And again, man created God in his own image. So it makes sense then that God cannot be any more moral than the people that he rules over. That just makes sense. And, one time I heard a pastor of mine say, well, have you ever thought that God kind of looks like us because the Bible says we're made in his image? Well, have you ever thought about the fact that God might look like us because we created him in our image? Ever thought of that one? So, you don't need to think about these things, but you should. Because these are things that you need to think about, that you should think about, that you should stop and think, I never really thought of that before. Maybe she's right. I don't have to be right. I don't. Sometimes I'm as much wrong as anybody else. I don't have I like to be right. Who doesn't like to be right? But if I'm wrong, I don't have a problem saying I'm wrong. But theists, and generally when I'm not talking about polytheists right now, I'm talking generally about monotheists. They cannot say that they are wrong. For some reason, those there are two phrases that generally never, ever, ever cross the lips of monotheists. And these two phrases are, I don't know, and I was wrong. Okay? These are two phrases that they are deathly allergic to, especially when you're talking about theism. They will make shit up before they will tell you that they do not know. Whereas I am perfectly fine with saying, I don't know. But you know what? I'll look it up and I'll get back to you. So just a few things to think about. You know, maybe God looks like us because we created God. And that's exactly what we did. And if you look at my Origins of Religion series, I have a part of it is called the Human Revolution. I think, I don't know. I don't know. It's late here. It's like 1:10 a.m. But I think part of it's called the Human Revolution. And it talks about how we evolved from Sahelanthropus and how each of the brain acquisitions that we got along the way to make us who we are today, Homo sapiens sapiens, has gotten us to the point of God. So anyway, go check that out. I now have a merch store in the description. Go check that out if you want. If you don't want, that's fine too. Also, I will leave some videos for you at the end.